Okay, Hurricane, before we get into the typical tell me about yourself,
Yeah.
I want to tell you something that you told me years ago.
Sure.
You told me that you had 3 goals when you were a kid.
Yeah.
You wanted to be the best basketball player in Fall River.
Uh-huh.
You wanted to be the toughest guy in Fall River.
Yeah.
And then you told me you wanted to be the President of the United States.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I want you to tell me now how this Hurricane Radio venture fits into those 3 objectives.
Wow, Pete Daly, you're not playing any games, huh? When I told you you had free reign, you had free reign. This is the most exciting thing, non-athletic, that I've ever done. I'm proud of some of the political stuff that I've done. I'm proud of what I was able to do with the Blacktop League. I was proud of other ventures in the entertainment industry, you know, running Lizzie's, a lot of stuff that I've done that I'm very, very proud of. But this deal, I'm proud of working for a movie production company in Las Vegas and spending the 2 years I did there. But this deal is bigger than, you know, anything I've ever been involved in. I mean, there is so much more to this, and the potential is so huge with this that this is big. If I could be the successful CEO of HurricaneRadio.net, and we can have a shelf life of, 5 or 10 years, and maybe eventually sell it, I would settle for that as opposed to being president of the United States.
Okay.
Yeah, I would settle for that. I mean, the enormity of this deal is amazing. It takes so many different types of skill sets. It's crazy. It's stretched me in places where I haven't been stretched, and my mind's in great shape, and my body's in much better shape than it was, thank God. And thank God, because it's taken everything I had to put this together, and we're going to do it.
Sure. And that brings me back actually to your 1989 Durfee yearbook.
Yeah.
Has a profile of you, just like it has for everybody,
Sure.
saying the senior memories, where your address is, so you can be located years after. One of your aspirations, though, that you wrote down was to own my own business.
Sure, and
do you see that this is finally the culmination?
Sure, absolutely. This is. I've been involved in different businesses before. I've been a primary figure in many of them, but to have my name on it, certainly, or the Hurricane, also known as, this is important, man. This is. Let's face it. Everybody knows the situation that I was in when I finally made my decision to put this deal together. This deal was on the table for 2 years, and it should have been done 2 years ago, but I was afraid of it for a lot of reasons. I was safe at WSAR, I had a comfortable life, I was enjoying my house, and we got involved with the basketball venture, and that went real well until a certain chain of events led by some things I got myself into, and some changing finances with the PBL, and that didn't work out. You saw how hard and how effective I had worked there, certainly. Mm-hmm. But this was one of the few things that I had on the table when I was incarcerated. And you know as well as I do that I wrote this business plan, from the Ash Street jail during the week that I was there. And time can be an unbelievable enemy when you're incarcerated. And I wasn't incarcerated for long, but 10 days or whatever it was long enough. And I knew that in order to stay right, I had to do something productive. And I took some options that I still had left on the table, and a deal that I thought I could put together, and we made it happen. I mean, you were at the first meeting at my house. I showed you the business plan. I think it was my first or second day that I had been done. It was written on essentially two or three pieces of loose leaf paper. But it's funny. But to see it come from when I make my mind up in that cell to the first meeting, which you were at my house, to getting the office space, how we acquired it, Pete, and how all the difficult circumstances we had that day, and how fortunate it was to find it, to, you know, going on from Joe's basement and finding out how many people were so excited about it that we had 60,000 hits in our first week, and, you know, and to see us start to close the deal and actually start to do some on-air stuff, it's amazing. Like I told Joe's wife, no, not so, 5 minutes ago, that, you know, I can't believe we're gonna pull it off. I can't believe that we're gonna pull it off. And not only are we gonna pull it off, but to have the HD quality sound, to be able to, you know, to be able, you know, to not only hear us, but watch us. The fact that we're gonna have apps for the Droid, the BlackBerry, the iPhone, that you're gonna be able to listen to us and watch us on Facebook and your game stations and your Wii and your Xbox and all of that stuff, and on your Bluetooths and everything. I mean, this is the way of the future. We're gonna pull it off. Like I was telling you, I had the blues the other day, you know, and you know, I'm toweling off and I get a late start to my day and I'm feeling a little depressed, and then it just came up to me that, you know, we're starting and creating the first commercially viable internet radio station, and to my knowledge, in New England. And you know, that's something that everybody involved should be proud of. We worked hard for it.
And it's great that you mentioned that too, because, and you're saying you had the blues before, but then you mentioned all the positives that came after.
Sure.
They say a lot of good things rise from the ashes.
Yeah, of course.
And you mentioned all those obvious things that people
Yeah.
have heard about publicly.
Yeah, sure.
Can you talk a little bit though about the lows of putting this together that most people may not know about, but would probably be really interested to hear?
Sure, the phone line issue was a huge deal because we had worked so hard and come so far, and we were just starting the selling process of this radio station and just starting to take our sales brochures and packets and do our networking and get active. And you know, when we had the issue with the phone lines, and I talked to my partner Joe, and you know, he said, you know, that we were gonna need a $10,000, $15,000 board. You know, we thought we were gonna have to do that for, you know, 2 days. You know, I thought that, you know, we were gonna have a radio show with no open phone lines. I mean, that was a dark 4 or 5 days. That, you know, set us back 2 weeks. There's been some sales calls that I've gone on and missed, that you know, put me in a dark place for a short period of time afterwards. But other than the phone lines and the meeting that we had about financials with the Chamber of Commerce and with some other entities, when I found out just how ill-informed and ill-equipped we were to become a viable business that, you know, people could lend money to, you know, and that was a smack in the face for us as well too. But I thought we did a good job handling that. We got real proactive after that. You know, Joe again kind of took the ball and ran with that. His wife's been helping us with that, and you know, our I's and our T's will be crossed. We will do everything the right way here, in the conservative way here financially, and we'll put that business plan together, Pete, soon as we get the time, and the real business plan together. And you know, come the first of the year, you know, we'll have 4 months of experience under our belt. We'll have a stable of accounts, and you know, we'll be much more serious, or we'll be taken much more seriously.
Right, right. You're talking like a happier Hurricane now.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say? Because let me say,
Yeah.
you have a history
Yeah.
of being aggressive.
Yeah, sure.
You have a history of being a fighting
Yeah. Of course.
personality,
Yeah.
which can be construed two ways.
Sure.
A lot of people have taken that
Yeah,
negatively.
sure.
Would you be safe to say that that is behind you now, and you're going to
Pete,
try
I'm
to
from
channel.
Fall River. It's never behind you, my friend.
But is it
You
safe
know
to
better
say?
than that. I mean, you've been on the side of me. I mean, you've seen it. You know, I mean, I like to think I'm a righteous dude, but I mean, we live in a crazy place. I love it. It's me. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean, can you ever say that you're gonna walk around Fall River or New Bedford or Brockton and never get into it?
Silence on that one.
I mean, you know, listen, you know, we're not walking around Beverly Hills here.
Right.
I mean, am I much more conscious of it? Absolutely. But I thought I was conscious of it then. You know?
And what I was,
I mean, you know, me and my friends were getting chased home when we were 6 years old, walking home from school. You know, we can talk to Jimmy Costa, Brian Viana, you know, Keith and Kerry McElroy, Truman Turner, all the guys I walked, Ray Doba, the Robleskis, you know, all the kids I walked with, Barrett Jones, all the kids I walked to school with in elementary school. You know, I mean, they'll talk to you, you know. And never mind Morton, never mind Durfee, but, you know, hey, I mean, with my personality and my talent, you know, thank God I could defend myself.
so I'm glad, right, and I'm glad you said that because I wanted people to see, and I think this is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Do you plan on channeling that personality into your ventures?
Sure, I think I challenge it into everything I've done and that I'm proud of. I think that,
Right.
you know, for every negative thing that personality or negative intention that personality has brought to me, you know, I certainly, you know, would have been a high school All-American. I certainly would have, you know, was the first person to win back-to-back state championships. I certainly would have been all of those athletic accomplishments if I didn't have this personality. I certainly would have started the Blacktop and Benny's Good on the radio and started Hurricane.net if I didn't have that personality. So I take the good with the bad with it. I know now that I try to limit my situations, okay? You know, I cut by 80%, you know? I still have to be in the mix because I'm a salesperson and, you know, I've had tremendous success out there networking and going by places like the Royal Martini and different businesses and Providence and stuff and going out and seeing people because that's, you know, part of the business. You've been on the side of it when you've seen me grab accounts. But I try to limit the drinking and the putting yourself in situations where, you know, ultimately there is no winner.
Right.
You know, I mean, you've been out with me, Peter, a lot. I mean, you ever see me give it to somebody that didn't have it coming on?
I haven't.
You know, I'd like to be, you know, somebody to say that. You know, I mean, it is who I am. You know, but I am also many, many other things. You know.
And I've always wondered.
Sure.
There's a lot of people who would say that you're 39 years old, but you still live in the past as if you walk around with a leather jacket. People say that personally.
Yeah, sure.
People say that in the cyber world.
Yeah, sure.
What do you have to say to them?
I mean, it's foolish. I mean, you know, you fuck around me. I don't know where any of my 2 state championship rings are. I don't have any of my Letterman jackets. I don't even have a scrapbook. You know, those memories are here and they're here, and they are treasured. And some of I am most proud of. Okay, but you know, the Durfee fight song is not going to be playing on my car stereo. You know, that's sure. But I love it. I love Durfee. You know that. I mean, I've helped the program out, and I'll always be part of that. I mean, you know, I get a lot of my business from that experience and the friendships that I've had. I mean, my friend Rosanna was cutting somebody's hair. You know, owns a wireless company, and she said she was going to come on Hurricane Radio, and he said he wanted to advertise because he played basketball against me, and he wanted to, you know, to play like me. You know, I'm never. I mean, come on, you know, I would never try to cheapen that experience or, you know, live in the past like that. I mean, if you really know me, you know, the last thing I want to talk about is Durfee basketball when I'm out socializing. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people who write this stuff, a lot of people who say this stuff, they don't really know me. You know, you do, and that's why I want to do that, you know, to ask, well, whatever question you have, I haven't looked at them, but, you know, that's why I wanted to, let's try to talk about some of the stuff that people think that they know about, mm-hmm. You know, and they really don't.